Hey guys, what's up? So I'm back with episode 3, and it's round about that time where now new students are coming to the Netherlands for study. And before I came, I remember I really wanted like a student job, right? And yeah, I struggled to get it because there was just so much I didn't know. So this episode is basically just gonna be about the truth of getting a student job. So difficulty wise, and then how to actually get one. Okay, guys, so before we start, I'm just going to put out a disclaimer. So, all the advice and strategies that I'm giving throughout this video may not be suitable for your situation. And also, everything I talk about has no harmful or offensive intentions. And it's just about my personal experiences and how, if I got a second chance, I'd do them over. So, in my time in the Netherlands, I've worked 3 jobs, independently, of course. And before I jump into the whole job process, right, I just want to explain some background with you. So, all the international students who come to the Netherlands are put into like 2 main groups, which are non-EU students and EU students. So, the EU stands for European Union. So, your nationality, or the country you were born in, is in the EU, right? You're an EU student. And if your country is outside of the EU, like me, Zimbabwe, then you're a non-EU student. And being an EU student, you kind of get some perks that like a non-EU student doesn't get. So like for example, like your school fees are cheaper, and then you can work more hours for like a job. And yeah, so with my friends, we kind of have like a joke. We will be like, "You're on EU privilege," because like you have like privilege we don't have. I told you earlier, just briefly, that before I got to the Netherlands, I thought that it was just gonna be a breeze for me to get a job. I literally thought that I'm gonna touch down in the Netherlands and just walk into a job. Like for some
Look at
reason, I
this
just thought it was
dude.
that easy. But actually, no. Like there's just so much like administration and just like wild goose chasing that you have to go through. On arrival in the Netherlands, before like you can do anything, you need a BSN number, which is basically a social security number where you go to the municipality, the city hall, and register that you're now in the Netherlands. And then this can take between 1 to 3 months, depending on when you actually go there and register. And now, one of the things that confused me for quite a while. So, being a non EU student, you're allowed to work, of course, but this is the way it works. So, you can work 16 hours a week throughout the whole year, or you can work 40 hours a week during the summer, which is June, July, August. And you can't do both, right? You have to choose either or. So that was something that was really like, there was no like fine print that can I do this or can I not. And if you're thinking of getting a job, I definitely recommend that you work throughout the year 16 hours a week. Because bear in mind that if you were to work June, July, August, June for most universities in the Netherlands, right? You still have school and exams. Like I only finished exams basically like in the first week of July. And that was because I had no resits. And now when you have resits, it's pushed further to like close to after mid-July. Okay, so you've gotten a job and you've done the easy part. Now comes the hard part. So for us non-EU students to work, you need a TWV permit, which is just like a student working permit, right? And the tough part about this is not all companies are open to applying for a permit for us, right? Because the way it works is, so this permit is a lot of administration, and then it takes between 4 to 6 weeks for it to be processed, and then you can only work after it's processed. So imagine you're hired a month and a half before, and then you can only work a month and a half after the permit is processed. Before I got a job, I applied to so many jobs, or actually just office jobs, to be honest. Like, I always felt like, why do I need to ride a bike and do a delivery job? I think that right? Mindset when came just get with the ease of just getting like an opportunity I wanted back home because of the connections my parents had. And now, yeah, coming here, yeah, it was just hard. Imagine I applied for jobs without a motivational letter. I was just sending my CV when they actually asked, can you send a motivational letter? And I was just like, no, I'm cool. I definitely recommend that you are not like me. I just think it's too easy, it's too light work. And please just write a motivational letter and send it to the employers because it'll make a huge difference. And also remember that, like, if you're an international, it's harder. But yeah, don't worry, delivery jobs aren't that bad. I mean, you get tips, you get to choose when you want to work, and the pay is pretty good actually. When I was working, I used to work shifts from 3 p.m. until 11 p.m. twice a week. So that's 16 hours. Just so that I could like get it out the way quickly. And it's not like at those times on an odd weekday like a Tuesday or on a Sunday, I was doing anything really productive that I needed to be doing during those times. But let me not make delivery jobs sound like sunshine and rainbows because you guys will kill me. Because, okay, they're half-half. It depends, like I talked about in the last episode with the extreme weather. So your job doesn't stop when there's extreme weather unless the road is frozen and you can end up falling off your bike. So yeah, when there's extreme weather, you can literally be riding through the rain, through wind, and yeah, I guess that's the hardest part of delivery jobs, to be honest. I only managed to get an office job like last month, really. And before that, I worked delivery for like 13 months. And if I can do it, you can definitely do it. So don't worry about it. Okay, so I know what you're thinking. You're now like, how and where do I apply for these jobs? So there's sites where you can apply for these jobs. The main ones being Indeed, LinkedIn, Virt, NL, Amazon Jobs. Yeah, those are basically like the popular ones. But after being in the Netherlands for like a few months, I'm pretty sure that you'll start to see companies that you can work at. And you'll just apply on their websites. But it's not that straightforward either, because the jobs on those sites have specific requirements for the employee that they're looking for. So, for example, a lot of jobs, not all of them, require you to be fluent in Dutch and English, right? And that's just not a lot of internationals. So already that's a requirement that's now putting you in the dark. That is mostly for office jobs, by the way. So, yeah. And sorry if I may have sounded a bit negative throughout the video so far, but I'm just trying to show you how, like, it's not easy. But there are jobs that are easy-ish to get, like delivery jobs, service jobs, which are waitering and cleaning. And then I also noticed that a lot of girls do babysitting too. You can also work in retail or clothing stores or on campus at your university. But these jobs that I'm mentioning now are just like advice that I'm giving you guys. I can't really give you concrete advice on how the jobs are because I haven't done them. Okay, time for the interesting part. How much bread you can be... Sorry, I mean money. How much money you can be making from these jobs. So employers will usually tell you how much money you're going to make before you start, right? But some companies work with like the national Dutch wage rate. So what they do is, based on how old you are, is how much money you can earn per hour. So this can vary from company to company. And right now I'm just putting up what's on like the government site. And it's not always like this, but I'm just giving you a general picture so you can really see. But an example was for me, I remember at one job I had, when I was 20, I was earning about 9.10 cents per hour. And then when I was at another company, being 20, they don't care about like the age. They just pay me a base salary and I was getting about 11 euros an hour. So that's something to look into when you're getting a job. And another thing, so when you get a job, it's mandatory to have basic Dutch health insurance. So when you come to the Netherlands as an international student, you have international student insurance, right? And that's not sufficient for when you're working. So like you need to switch to basic Dutch health insurance. And you have about 4 months before it's now a problem. Like you can get in trouble or get fined for it. And another thing about your bread, well, your money, when you get paid, you need to make sure that your employer has applied for something called a loonheffings, which is a tax discount form, right? And what that does is it discounts the taxes that you have to pay, because by working 16 hours a week, you're obviously earning less than minimum wage. So if you're getting taxed the normal amount of minimum wage, yeah, your salary is gonna be way less than it should be. So that's something I definitely suggest that you get as soon as you get a job. And guys, so I'm not a tax expert, but I did file my taxes this year. And I feel like what I went through is a situation that like internationals can also go through. So I'm just gonna share it, and don't take it literally, like it could be your situation, but just listen to what I have to say. And so basically when you file your taxes, you use DGID, which is literally the digital ID that you have, which is linked to the government, right? And that's how I filed my taxes. But then because I was only in the Netherlands from last year, from about February, right? I had to fill out a separate form, which is an M form, because I hadn't been paying taxes in the Netherlands throughout the whole year. So yeah, that was kind of the confusion with it, because I had to then fill out a whole new form and then actually take it to the tax advisors or tax authorities, who are called the Belastingdienst. And yeah, this whole tax thing is very, like, it's a lot. Yeah, guys, so that's kind of it. And thanks for watching. I hope this episode wasn't a bit too serious. I just felt like I need to talk about stuff that we need when we go there and like we want to work. So I hope that I managed to help you and prepare you for what you could go through. Please make sure that you like, subscribe, and comment. And see you next week. Next week I'm going to be talking about the apps that you need when you come to the Netherlands. So yeah, stay tuned.